Why do some companies inspire loyalty, while others constantly fight for attention? Why do some leaders build movements, while others struggle to get basic commitment? Why do customers line up overnight for one brand, while another brand has to beg with discounts? Here's the real question. Why do people really buy? Why do they really follow? It's not price, it's not features, it's not even quality. And if you're building a business, a brand, or even a personal mission, misunderstanding this could be costing you everything. Today, we're breaking down one of the most powerful leadership books ever written. Start with Why. And this might completely change how you communicate forever. Before we dive in, if you want deep breakdowns of books that actually help you grow, build, and lead, hit subscribe now. Let's get into it. Core problem. Most people start wrong. Most businesses and leaders communicate like this: what they do, how they do it, sometimes why they do it. But inspiring leaders reverse the order. They start with why, and that changes everything. Simon Sinek introduces something called the golden circle. 3 layers. Why? Why do you exist? What do you believe? What's your cause? How? How do you do it differently? What? What do you actually sell or deliver? Here's the mistake. Almost everyone starts from the outside in, from what? But inspiring leaders communicate from the inside out, from why. Example 1, the Wright brothers versus Samuel Langley. 2 teams trying to build the first airplane. One had funding, government support, elite education, media coverage. The other? 2 brothers in a bicycle shop. Guess who succeeded? The Wright brothers. Why? It wasn't resources, it wasn't intelligence, it wasn't luck. The Wright brothers believed in changing the world. They believed in possibility. People joined them because they believed in the same thing. Langley wanted fame and money. One inspired belief, the other pursued achievement, and belief wins. Example 2. Apple doesn't just sell computers. Apple Inc. doesn't just sell products. Their message isn't, "We make great computers." Instead, it sounds like this: "We believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making beautifully designed, simple-to-use products. We just happen to make computers. Want to buy one?" Feel the difference? You're not buying a computer, you're buying a belief about who you are. That's why Apple customers don't just purchase, they identify. This isn't opinion, it's biology. Here's where it gets powerful. Sinek explains this through how the brain works. The neocortex handles rational thinking, features, price, data. But decisions are made in the limbic brain, the part responsible for feelings, trust, loyalty. And guess what? The limbic brain doesn't process language. That's why you can explain all the facts and someone still says, "I don't know, it just doesn't feel right." Or, "I don't know why, I just love this brand." People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Manipulation versus inspiration. Most companies rely on manipulation, discounts, promotions, fear, scarcity, peer pressure, limited time offer. And yes, they work, but only short term. When you compete on price, you become a commodity. When you compete on features, someone will copy you. When you compete on incentives, customers leave when incentives disappear. Manipulation creates transactions. Inspiration creates loyalty. And loyalty survives competition. Trust, the hidden advantage. Inspiring leaders create something deeper, trust. And trust comes from clarity, clear why, discipline, systems that reflect that why, consistency. Everything aligns with it. When why becomes fuzzy, companies lose direction. When leaders forget why they started, success actually becomes dangerous, because growth without clarity leads to confusion, and confusion kills loyalty. Leaders need followers, not just authority. Sinek makes a powerful distinction. There are leaders, and there are those who lead. You can have a title, but you don't automatically inspire. People follow not because they have to, but because they want to. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. He didn't say, "I have a 12-point policy plan." He said, "I have a dream." He started with why, and people who believed the same thing showed up. That's how movements are built. The biggest danger: losing your why. Success can blur your why. Companies start with passion, then scale happens, then systems replace belief, then leadership changes, and suddenly decisions are made based on numbers, not cause. That's when inspiration fades, and once why becomes unclear, people stop feeling connected. So, how do you find your why? It's not about profit, it's not about what you sell, it's about the deeper cause that would still exist even if your product changed. Ask yourself, what do I believe? What change do I want to see? Why did I start in the first place? Your why is the reason someone chooses you over a cheaper, faster alternative. It's the reason people trust you when things go wrong. It's the reason your work actually matters. Final message: if you want customers who don't leave, if you want employees who care, if you want influence that lasts, start with why. Communicate it, design around it, protect it. Because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. If this breakdown helped you, subscribe now. We break down powerful books every week that help you think better, lead better, and build better. The link to Start With Why is in the description. And I want to ask you something. What is the one book that changed your life? Drop it in the comments. Let's build a reading list together.